I remember one day being in Basra in the south of Iraq, and then just feeling safe. And I realized that it was because everybody sounded like my mom. And it was just crazy. It was crazy. And then I started really wondering, I was like, holy crap, wait a second. What does it feel like to be an average German guy living in Germany? Like, what am I holding constantly that they're not? Because there was a moment where I was just like suddenly in this town and I just felt like, oof. And so definitely there's like a historic love of the language that comes from family. But also I think there's interesting things about like qalb and qabal, qalaba and qalaba. Sorry.
Which is like
Heart.
which is like QLB
Yeah.
or QBL.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's not just that the letters together can be transformed, but if you have a root that's similar, if you just shift things around, they have often like these weird relationships. So the heart is something that flips, and so qalb is heart, and qabala is qalaba is to flip. Qalb and qabal. And I love that. Then you can find another one that I found yesterday, which is khair and ikhtiyar. Okay, and I heard this recently and it really stood out to me. So you can hear, you don't have to listen for the roots. You just have to listen for the sounds. You can see that these two words sound similar. Khair, ikhtiyar. Khair is goodness. Ikhtiyar is choice. The implicit understanding is you can never make a wrong choice. You can never make a bad choice.
Really?
I think so. Yeah, because if you did make a choice, it was a good one. It had to be a good one. Because if you didn't make a good choice, you've fallen into something bad. You didn't make the choice. It happened to you. Something like that. There's like some weird... Anyway, so like those kinds of relationships, you're like, wait a second, choice and goodness have the same root? Like, why? And it's because, I guess, the assumption is people are reasoning to try to make the best possible choice. And if you didn't do that, then it's not a choice. You just followed your desire. Like, did you choose to eat that extra tub of ice cream? Did you really choose to go out with that person? It's like, I don't know. Was it khair? Was it goodness? And so it doesn't become a choice until you actually deliberate. Anyway, this is one way of thinking about that.
This is exactly the kind of thing that I think, even though maybe other languages have like a root and they make words out of similar things, this reading of how things are related to one another is not present. And it's very profound in Arabic, and I love that, these kind of connections like between the words, just based on how they're spelt essentially.
It can get way deeper. There's like some people that go for letter to letter. So that was like between letters. But so for instance, gharaqa means to drown. And some people postulate that the reason that these words were put together in this tri-root is because in the beginning when you're drowning, so the ghain sound, you're getting water in your mouth. Okay? Yeah, it gets big, man. It's big. And then is you falling into the water once you've filled up with water. You can't breathe anymore. So, and then qa is when you hit the bottom of the ocean. Qa. Yeah. Right? It gets deep.
That is deep.
I love it. So Arabic's got a lot of things, got personal things, family things, and also for someone who's quite creative, and maybe it's part of where my punnery comes from, because my brain is always looking at what people say and being like, ding, okay, there's the joke, or they said this, it reminds me of this, it's connected to that. And so I think it's connected potentially to my creativity and to the way that I am always hearing multiple things based on what somebody says, even in passing.
So if you want to be funny, you should learn Arabic.
Okay.